Hi guys, JVD back with you once again for another board game review. Yay! You did not sound happy enough there, dude.
Yes. Oh look, you're filming me, and I'm filming you, filming me, filming you, and something like that. That's tongue twister.
It's a paradox. The game, as you can see, Vegas Showdown by Avalon Hill. It's for 3 to 5 players, ages 12 and up, and it takes about 75 minutes. That's about accurate enough. Really? I'm not fucking playing that game. My brother was telling me about the game Dynacher, which is a German game that takes about 5 hours to play, so basically, fuck that. The components which I put in these Ziploc bags, except for this is something different. You have poker chips of red, white, and green, representing 3 different values. You have, if I can ever get this box fucking open. Put the camera down. Put the camera down. These tiles, you know, which look like this. You know, like that. These tiles show different things, like there's a slot machine, and another slot machine there, and fancy slots, and fancy restaurant, and another fancy slot. Should be a dragon room there somewhere, but I'll find that later. You also have these no bid tokens, because these go on things that the cards dictate, which I will get into in a minute. Okay. You also have these little red dots. These go on to the board, the main game board, which is in the box, which I'll break out in a second. And then you get these little pieces. I will take out all the blue pieces because that's my favorite color, and I will explain them in a sec. Here, they all represent something. This represents your income, dollar sign there. See? This is your victory point bid tracker. You know, you place your bids with that thing. Here. So do represents your population, and this represents your fame or your victory points. You will get victory points throughout the game. A lot of victory points. Then, of course, you have the elongated tiles, which I will not break out here. You have the lounge and everything like that. And you have also your restaurants and everything. You see that number right there, by the way? On the buffet, it says 33. That's the starting cost of it. It will get you 3 population and 1 income. As I again show you a Pizzle 90 on camera.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you, all of you, my lovely friends out there.
The next part here is you get these cards, which once you make a bid on something else, you play one of these cards. Looks like this is Vegas Showdown, and on the back, on the other side, it's got like this right here, like slot builders on strike. All the slots and the fancy slots that turn, can't place a bid on them. So let's say if there's a fancy slot out, you have to put one of these on it. Same with the slot machines. You know, and you'll randomly uncover them in the game. By the way, the little square inside that giant circle, the little square inside the big square inside the circle, that represents a piece you have to put on the board, which I'll explain what that is in a sec. You also have a turn order button, which is a really, really big giant dealer button, tells you what to do. You drop prices, flip new tiles if needed, collect income, choose the actions. You adjust your fame, your revenue, and your popularity, or population, I'm sorry. And then, of course, you pass the turn button to the left. Also makes a good frisbee. You also get one of these building prerequisite sheets, which at the top has different ways to score victory points throughout the game. You know, each 3/4 of a triangle gets you 1, each full one gets you 3, each full $10 you have gets you 1. Highest population gets you 3 if you're first, 5 for second, 1 for third. Same for the revenue. If you can connect the path from your hotel to your casino, that's worth 3. Fill hotel, fill casino, that's both worth 5 victory points. Okay. You also get a rule book, which is right here. Apparently there are 2 chips that were lost. You get a rule book. kind of, well, actually the rulebook's right here. The conflict of interest book from Avalon Hill to get more games. Then the only downside to this game are these boards you have for the players. They're made out of paper. You can see right here. They do have a casino side and a hotel side. Let me show Alex this. This is the paper board, dude. This is the board that people will be putting their properties and other things on. It's flimsy too, which is the worst part. Because like Scott Nicholson from Board Games with Scott said, if you're playing on the table and if you have a fat bulge like I do, you bend over the table, paper gets creased. You have one for every player, so you have one for white, one for red, one for yellow, one for green, and one for blue. So you get 6 of them. Now the thing is, when it comes to doing your income, give me 2 numbers between 1 and 40. Alex? 2 numbers between 1 and 40. 2 of them. Okay, we'll go with 20. We'll go with 25, but since you obviously can't go any lower than 1, we'll go with 25 and we'll go 22. Okay.
No, 18 and 24.
18 and 24. Okay, fine. Let's say your population's 24, but your income is 18. When it comes time to collect the income, you collect the least of the 2. So let's say your income is at 26, your population's 25. You'd only get $25. You know. That's only one of the really big downsides about the game, personally. You know. Now the board. This is what you're mainly going to be doing with, besides your regular paper board here, which I'll put over there. It folds out like this. It's a 2-part board. And you can see all these different spaces. So many spaces on the board.
Oh my God.
Don't freak out. During the game, you will encounter this board, and you will encounter different things to happen to the board. Changes. You know, everyone starts with a slot machine there. There's a lounge that will go there. There's a restaurant that would go there. It's basically a game of bidding and battling, pretty much. Every turn, you take your little bid thing, and you'd put it on a price, and someone can outbid you, and then you'd probably say bad words. And everything like that. You can tell the board, too, is red and black around the outside. Kind of like a specific casino game. I wonder what that is. The wheel is red and black. It's roulette. And, of course, 0 is green, like usual. During the game, also, you have a chance to gain publicity or renovate. That, of course, is moving tiles around your board, 2 tiles maximum on your board to make room for other things. Okay, because you can buy stuff and not put it on your board. Put it off to the side, renovate at a different time. But in the end, when you do all this stuff, like let's see here, I'm gonna flip this over. A fancy slot, like we mentioned, is 18. You'd put this on 18, and that's the starting price. Now you can of course bid higher than that. Let's say no one claims it. Drop it down to 12. No one claims it again. 7. No one again? Fine. 3. And you can bid from... You don't have to bid on just this bottom track. You can use the top one, too. So if someone has 3, no, I can bid 5. No, I'll bid 15, maybe. I've seen that done. I've actually done it myself to the people in the game. And during that time, like I said, you're going to go ahead and you're going to get revenue. You're going to get income, your population. Overall, you want to have the biggest fame at the end of the game. But let's say we're playing a game, though, and I bid one on the slots, Alex bids one on restaurant, my brother gets involved, and he places one on 7 for fancy slots. Let's see, because the fancy slots is 7. Nobody else puts anything else down. That's it. We'd pay what we have to pay, take our stuff. And then I flip over new tiles and everything like that come up in the game. It is a very, 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 very fun game. It does take about an hour to 75 minutes to play. but it is very, very fluent. It's very, very cool. I like the idea for it, like the flow of it as a game itself. Is it one of the top games I would play? Maybe. There are other games that I do have, like Resident Evil. I have this new DICE game, which I'll do as well in a review. I have Dominion, and I have Settlers of Catan that I'll be doing. Huh?
Raw deal?
And Raw Deal, but that's a game I have to actually have somebody else help me with because they know the game better than I do. But overall, this game is a pretty fun game. It's one of the very, very fun ones that I've had, and I've played it numerous times at a board game night with friends. You know, it ran me about $30 to get, so it's pretty much $30 well invested overall. The game is a very, very original game in my opinion. It like I mentioned, it has its ups and it has its downs, but as a game, it's one of my favorites to play with the people from the board game group because they know what the hell we're doing. At least they do, or they think they do. The game. People keep signing on to Skype. People keep signing on to Skype. That's why I keep hearing the beeps. No, it's not your fault. I forget. The game overall, not that bad. Out of a 5 out of 5 rating, I'd give it a 4. The only downside is it does take, like I said, about 75 minutes to do. Cleanup might be a little bit longer. So, you know, I mean, like, you know. Same thing with Ari. It's got a pretty big cleanup time, and the game could be twice as long as that, depending on how much of the games you actually own for that. And I'll do that too on some of the later set as well, along with Dominion. But until then, next time, guys, Vegas Showdown. This was Vegas Showdown, a great game. Again, by our friends at Avalon Hill. I definitely recommend getting this game if you want to. It's one of the fun ones. So you know what? I'll have another one ready to go in a couple minutes. I'll see you next time.